Hello everyone, this is Ezekiel 13 Apologetics. For those of you who haven't seen my previous video, I urge you to go watch that video before you watch this one, because I want you guys to get an idea of what the objective of my YouTube channel is. And I'd say 95% of my YouTube channel would be dedicated towards showing people that Jesus wasn't playing around when he warned about false prophets. The other 5% is the one specific false prophet I'm focused on, and that is a guy called Leon du Preez. If you want to get an idea of the heresies that Leon du Preez has spoken, please go watch my previous video. As you can tell by the title of this video, I'm making this video to clear up some misconceptions about a certain verse that is used a lot by charismatic people. I know it's used a lot by Leon's followers. I had about 5 or 6 different Leon followers, all from different backgrounds. And I'm going to get into the certain caricature of the person who uses this verse a lot later on in the video. It's a verse that is, to be fair, not just used by Leon. It's used by every false prophet, false apostle, false pastor, preacher, teacher that's all over the world. It's for those of you who know your Bible and who are against charismatic churches, you may have some sort of idea what verse I'm using. For those of you who don't and want some sort of idea, I'll give you a hint. It's a verse that especially prophets use to deflect any sort of criticism or any commentary on their theology, or if they even purposely make error, they can just refute any sort of criticism by throwing this verse out. So I'm sure a few of you maybe have an idea of what verse this is, but I believe it would be boring to just go ahead and give the answer, so I thought I'd make this a little bit interesting. Alright, what is Leon du Preez's followers' favorite verse to defend him? Is it A, Psalm 105, or B, Matthew 7:15, C, Matthew 19:24, or D, Luke 16:16? I'll give you guys a hint. Yes, of course, do not touch my anointed. So yes, those of you who got it, well done. For those of you who didn't get it, go read your Bible. So yes, this is referring to Psalm 105 verse 15. Now, I've got the Bible here. I've got the King James version. I'm just going to read it to you guys out of context so I can explain to you how and why it's so important to know context behind verses. So let me read it for you guys. Saying, touch not mine anointed and do my prophets no harm. Pretty straightforward verse, right? If I were a false prophet or a person who claims to be a prophet, this would probably be my most favorite verse in the Bible. It's clear. If God is telling you not to do something, you don't do it if you are a true Christian. And if God is saying, do not touch or harm my anointed or my prophets, then you will obey that. It's a very, very sneaky fear tactic. But I'm here to tell you guys, don't fear this verse, because it's not even for the prophets of the Old Testament. Not even every one of them this verse applied to. And it definitely doesn't apply to anyone this day and age. Anyone after Jesus died, anyone until he comes back, this verse is not for them. So I'm making a clear clarity here. If you don't believe me, carry on watching the video. I'm going to show you why. This verse is a false verse to use to defend yourself as a prophet. Because it's very simple. You don't even need a big theological background. You don't need to study the Greek or the Hebrew. Just read forth from verse 7, which I'm going to do for you guys right now. So context is very important. let me tell you why. Let me give you an example. There's a verse in the Bible, I believe it's Luke 19:27, where Jesus says something along the lines of, "Bring forth my enemies before me so I may slay them." Now that verse on its own will make most Christians shiver and think there's no way Jesus would say that and refer to humans. That's a terrible thing to say. Out of context, scary. In context, makes perfect sense. If you read it in context, Jesus is talking about Jerusalem, about those who will not accept him. They will not enter the kingdom of heaven. Jesus, some theologians even believe that Jesus was even weeping when he said this, because he was mourning over the fact that many in Jerusalem will not accept him. However, Jesus knew that they made their choice. Right? So it makes sense when it's in context, doesn't make sense when it's out of context. And the reason why Psalms 105 verse 15 is dangerous is because the verse, "Do not touch my prophets," on its own may not seem like it needs context. However, I'm going to give you guys context right now. So let's read from verse 7. "He is the Lord our God, his judgments are in all the earth. He hath remembered his covenant forever, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations, which covenant he made with Abraham, and his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant, saying unto thee, I will give the land of Canaan, the lot of your inheritance. When they were but a few men in number, yea, very few and strangers in it, when they went from one nation to another, from one kingdom to another people, he suffered no man to do them wrong. Yea, he reproved kings for their sakes, saying, touch not mine anointed, and do my prophets no harm."
Flawless victory.
So, what is Psalms 105 verse 7 to 15 saying? David is praising God for protecting his prophets. Now I want to explain to you guys who the patriarchy in the Old Testament is referred to. The prophets of the patriarchy are considered the most important. That verse clearly, if you want to read it again, go read it. It's speaking about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. How they went about their business, speaking and prophesying to different kingdoms, different kings, different peoples. God spared them. God knew that they would get through their troubles, and he was saying, do not touch my prophets. It is not for you, Leon, for many reasons. First of all, it's Old Testament. Second of all, you're not Abraham, you're not Isaac, you're not Jacob. And third of all, you're not a prophet. You will never be a prophet. You never were a prophet. You will never even come close to a prophet. No one will. By the way, the caricature that I was referring to early on in the video, every single person who uses this verse ends up looking like this. I don't know what's up with these middle-aged women with short dyed hair, named Nikki or Karen or Jolene. These middle-aged people are just, I don't know why they fall into the Pentecostal movement, and that goes for the men as well. So as I said, I was going to keep this video short. I hope this cleared up. Some of you maybe were even wrestling with this verse, so I hope it clears it up. If you want to read it for yourself, it's Psalms 105 verse 7 to 15. Don't just read 15 on its own. Don't be a false teacher who will just throw out that verse. Psalms 105 verse 7 to 15. It addresses Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, not Leon Dupree. And by the way, again, I have so many ideas for different videos. I'm going to make another video one day where I address the qualifications you need to be considered a prophet in the Bible. And Leon ticks none of them. Neither do I. First of all, Leon is not Jewish. Leon does not have Jewish bloodline. Second of all, I have yet for someone to come and address Luke 16:16. I want someone to answer Luke 16:16 for me. That says the prophets were until John. Now, I've had 2 or 3 idiots in the comments of my other videos who said they thought that that verse refers to John, James' brother. No, it's talking about John the Baptist. There's even another verse, Matthew 11:13, that says that all the laws and all the prophets were until John. So I've yet for someone to address that. Well, my channel's going to be around a while. Also, by the way, I had a video, the first video I ever made on Leon was on my old channel, Peter 2 Apologetics, and I had my father narrate the writing for me. And that video had almost 1,000 views. And in a way, it's actually fortunate that that video got taken down. Leon actually took the video down. So Leon knows who we are. Leon's after my channel, after my old channel. He's trying to silence his critics, and for a guy who supposedly says he sleeps so well at night knowing he's in the perfect will of God and he's a prophet, and how he doesn't need to do anything because God will sort out his enemies for him. Why are you silencing critics and the videos? It makes no sense. And why I say it's fortunate the video got taken down is because it didn't really affect me. I'll always remember that video. It's the one that basically launched the channel. I had a lot of fun editing it. I've learned a lot since then about editing and all that. You can even check out my previous video. That's the most important video. And Leon will do everything in his power to try and get rid of my channel, because I'm gonna say it, I'm the only Christian who's got I'm the only one who's got the guts, and I'm the only one who's actually following Jesus' command to expose people like Leon. However, you people just sit back and let a guy call himself a prophet and just let him get away with it. At your own condemnation, at your own fall. You guys think that sitting in his church and because you don't partake in what he says and you sit there quiet that doesn't mean you're not going to get condemned for the same thing. That's false. If you follow a false doctrine by a false prophet, you will be judged as severely as him. I want you guys to think about that. And also another thing is, there's a guy called Andre, I believe. He's the Encounter social media. He pulls the strings behind their social media and their adverts and their YouTube, I believe. And so this guy has subscribed to my YouTube channel. He's an employee at Encounter. He subscribed to my YouTube channel. He sent me a friend request on Facebook, to which I accepted, and I didn't get a message. And now he's viewing most of my activity on Instagram. So I've just got 2 statements to make here. First of all, it's kind of good, because that means this guy's eyes are on me. Second of all, second statement, why not be a man and just come talk to me? Man up and come talk to me. Don't stalk me online. That's weird. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope this video cleared up a lot of confusion. There's many more verses I can make videos on, and I plan to do so. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. I know Leon had a Holy Hunger conference this month, and it's difficult to keep up with Leon because everything he says is wrong. But thank you guys very much. As I said earlier, if you haven't seen my previous video, I suggest you go watch it, because I need you guys to understand who we're dealing with. And I'm gonna make a really in detail video one day on why Leon. You know, another guy said to me, why are you attacking Leon? Why not go and criticize someone else? Because I'm gonna go into detail, and it's sad because most Christians are blind as to what's happening. For 1,900 years, this is a big statement I'm making, but no one can prove me wrong. For 1,900 years, no one has ever said the things that Leon Debre has said. If you don't believe me, go watch my previous video. Go find another person who follows Christ, who says there's other Christs. and who says Satan sowed a seed and now has to deal with many anointed Christs such as you and I, and that Jesus took money in the multitudes, he would be on the front page of the newspaper, and he took the widow's last money. Go find another pastor or a Christian who said that and isn't facing criticism. Go find it. That's a challenge for this video. But thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe and share, and I hope this cleared up a lot of confusion for you guys. I'll see you next time.